show features content intended for mature audiences. If you'd like to view a content warning before listening, please check out the episode description. The views put forth by our hosts and our guest reflect the speaker's opinions and not the official stance of Oddball Foundation. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Wright, and this is Oddball Show. This is going to be the week that was April 14th edition. My brother's birthday. Shout out to him. On the mics today, we have a couple great characters to join. So first off, we'll start off with my associate editor, Chad Parento.
Couple of surprise guests, which also happen to be the guests every time. Always something right? Newly old at Oddball Magazine.
Yeah, we're so the surprise guest, Chad Parento, associate editor of Oddball Magazine. Who would have thought it?
Who would have thought?
And who do you think our third guest is going to be? I don't know.
Well, geez, our other fans are dead. Our other fans of the show are dead, so it only leaves out
not regular guests. We're playing characters. We're interesting characters. So the part of
I'd like to introduce a great guest, great co-host, Timothy Gager, author, writer extraordinaire, Timothy Gager.
We're co-hosts. I'm Coco for co-host.
Yeah. And if you're watching the stream, we're wearing glasses, except for Tim. Tim's not wearing glasses.
I can get some glasses.
Are you wearing contacts?
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening to the podcast and we're talking about what you're seeing, you really should add a lot.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, this is a podcast, people. So, but right now we are on.
We're talking
on Facebook
classy shit
live and YouTube, and we're excited. I just gotta get right into it. Chad, good day, mate. Where have you been?
Did
you say good day, mate? I was in Louisiana.
Down under in Louisiana.
Down under New.
Did you see any
down under New Orleans? How was it?
It was fun. There for 5 days. Got to see some of the sites I first went to when I went there about a little over 15 years ago. It was big fun. Got to experience them with my partner, who had never been. And then she showed me the real sites because I had never been beyond Bourbon Street, and she is a map freak. And we spent most of the time, and a good chunk of the time, on Magazine Street, which is an underrated mecca of food and culture. If you don't want to be bogged down by the big crowds on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter, you can grab a great meal almost anywhere on Magazine Street. In going up towards St. Charles Avenue, just a lot of great foods. We went on a food tour, and all the restaurants specifically focus on that area. It would like from appetizers to po' boys to alligator dogs to to tasty desserts and macarons.
All right, tell me about an alligator dog. What is that?
Oh,
it's a hot dog made with a mixture of alligator meat and other fillings because alligator would just crumble apart.
Was it good?
Excellent. This is the second time I've had alligator. This is probably the most pure form because the last time I had alligator, I was in Shreveport. I think it was some casino diner, except it was far fancier than anything I'd ever been to. And I've actually eaten in a couple of casinos. This was the best experience, but the alligator was Cajun. So, it was, but I do prescribe the fact that to the idea that it tastes like chicken. It is chickenish. But you get the right herbs. Right. It tastes excellent.
Alligator.
Can you do your best New Orleans backwoods accent right now for me?
Hi, I'm from New Orleans. That's how most of the people sounded. No, it's actually kind of funny because I met. There were several dialects, but then you have the white burnouts there. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Treme. which is an HBO series, which has to do with the city of New Orleans and the Treme neighborhood, predominantly black-owned neighborhood, um, just right after the Katrina disaster. And you have your people who've been there all their lives. You have people who are, activists or academics trying to save the place, and then you have the hangers-on. And there's this one guy who he was played by this guy who played the gay kid in Reality Bites, and he basically plays a culture vulture. He's a DJ until he gets fired for having a musician perform a voodoo sacrifice with a chicken. So then he's just aimlessly wandering around from job to job. That's where we're catching him now. He spent one episode in a hotel, and then until he directs the kid, like a bunch of kids, to go to a place they should not have gone after hours, and then the kids get lost, he gets fired. I swear to God, I met the inspiration for this person in our hotel. He looked like a cross between that character and Mitch Hedberg. And if you don't know Mitch Hedberg, he's a stoner comedian with jokes like, "I like Kit Kat unless I'm with 4 or more people." And this guy, he was like hair down to here, very inappropriate, and not appropriate for like regular dress. But he had a metal collar, so I think this guy played in a band and had to work at nights to pay the bills. And he was so he was so odd. And the funniest thing I saw had nothing to do with him, anything he said to me. He was always professional with me. But he picks up the phone at one point. He goes, "Welcome to the hotel. How can I hate you guys." His friends, I like to imagine his bandmates, were cranking him on the job. So he's really like, "Welcome to the hotel. Fill your name. How can I hate you guys." Click. I'm like, poor bastard. He's the only one with them who has a job, and he has to get dissed for it. Very different people. And I could write a book about the person who took us to the airport on the last day on this past Wednesday. I had to ask her, like, where were you around with Katrina? And it was a very different question to ask like 3 years after the disaster, which is when I started asking people. But this person told the most gut-wrenching story. Margaret's telling me, "You better tip her." I'm like, yes, I did. I tipped her like 50. I gave her a 50% tip for the Uber ride. It was the most heartbreaking story, and the most heartbreaking moment was like the beginning of the story. It was like VC Andrews and Toni Morrison on crack. It was crazy. It was crazy. All right, maybe not VC Andrews. Toni Morrison. I'm trying to think of another drama writer. But okay, I keep on getting messages that the mic is hot. I don't think this is me. Or at least I hope it's.
There's a lot. Is it my mic? Is my mic picking up silence? Like, is this like straight up like? It could be Chad's mic. Chad's mic's hot. Someone's mic.
My mic was off. I was muted.
Well, okay. I switched my mic from the headphone mic to the regular mic. Am I still hot?
Your mic's good now. Oh wait,
okay.
No, it's not good. Oh God.
All right, so
the Oddball show.
Right.
But
so to conclude, New Orleans sucks. Let's go. I'm so glad you guys paid attention while you guys were doing fucking pantomime puppets behind me saying the mic is hot and Tim doing fellatio. Like I don't fucking notice that shit.
I'm not
like,
doing.
We can hear like the like a pin drop right now. Sounds like a record.
Here's a pin to drop for you. Now, can we get to the fucking show?
I was listening to New
Orleans. Here, bounce 1,000 angels to dance on this and spin, okay?
You went to New Orleans. Your partner was like Cher. She was a map freak. That's all she ever was. Map freak.
Is that a song? Is that a Cher song?
It is. Half breed. It's really politically correct.
All right, let's get into this.
Oh my God, this is the most appropriate reference I've ever heard in my life. Okay.
Against me since the day I was born.
All right, so Chad, welcome back. I'm glad that you enjoyed New Orleans. I have a little story. When I went to New Orleans, about 8 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. I like to talk to people because I'm a talker. I like to talk to people. And
So
I
you
saw this guy with
visited
a new,
you visited every single one of Larry Flint's hustler houses
I,
on Bourbon
I
Street.
would have liked to have done that, but no, I was in the French Quarter and I saw a guy with a
Oh,
New
one
York
block
Yankees
away.
hat.
Yeah, it was impossible. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
go on.
I saw a guy with a New York Yankees hat on, and I thought he was from out of town, and he wasn't. And then he almost robbed me from my shoes, and that was my trip to New Orleans.
That's
Good
nice.
Lord, man.
Yeah, he made me. He shined my shoes, and then he's like, "You're gonna pay me. Pay me everything in your wallet right now."
Did you start a Yankees suck chant?
No, I don't know. I was like, "Oh, Yankees hat, huh? You must be from out of town. Me too."
Your shoes.
He wasn't from out of town. But anyway, that was like I mean, also the other thing that's really wild about New Orleans is the graveyards. Did you go to the graveyards?
We went by some of the graveyards. We actually didn't go through them. We did see. We went to St. Augustine's Church and saw the tomb of the unknown slave, and we saw an Easter mass there. That was interesting. There was
Wow.
I'll tell you my weird encounter story. There was a bake sale after the mass, and I just decided to get like $8 worth of brownies. So I had like 4 brownie packs. We ended up taking a bus, and I realized that Margaret can't eat these because she's allergic to walnuts. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna either be a pig or figure out some other way to put these brownies to use. Enter. We're sitting in the French Market area. We're sitting down. We're having those sandwiches. What is the sandwich that you said it was?
A muffalata.
A buffalo, yes. And all of a sudden, this guy comes up and goes, "Hey man, can you give me $1? I need to get something to eat." So I said, "Okay, here. How would you like these?" I offered them the 2 brownies. He goes, that's not what I want. I'm like, I thought you wanted food. He goes, that's not food. I was going to buy an Easter basket. I'm like, what?
Well, I mean,
That was a new one on me.
you tried to give him food, and he wanted $1. So
He wanted basically money, so, but I don't know what kind of Easter basket he would have gotten. Do they serve andouille sausage on the Easter baskets? I know there can be some elaborate baskets out there, but still, didn't make a lot of sense.
all right. Well, hey, I missed you. Welcome back, Tim. What have you been up to? What's going on with you?
I've got nothing to say after Chad goes to New Orleans. I'm just doing a lot of stuff. Shadows of the Scene is launched. Pre-sale. We have pre-sale in Australia, England, United States, Walmart, Amazon, etc., etc. So I've been doing that. I've been doing Dire, and another episode of the Two Deans dropped last Monday. Every Monday or so, or late
Yeah.
Sunday night.
So
Two
far,
Deans is
yeah.
dropping.
We got 5. This will be episode 4, right?
We did 4. Next Monday will be episode 5, where we have a college professor who dates another professor, and all hell breaks loose because
That's never good.
he comes out of the ER for various reasons to meet her on the date.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's the teaser.
All right. Well,
That's a teaser, all right.
let's get into it. So we're gonna go right back into Oddball magazine. The week that was. We're gonna start April 14th with a poem by our friend Glenn Bowie.
And Jason, I'm going to once again ask you
Good old
to.
Glenn.
I'm going to ask you again to back up because you're a giant head. You're like Zardoz in the movie with Sean Connery, which I have up.
You're
right
blocking
now.
the poem. We can't see his. We can't see the poem here.
I got a high hair.
Seriously, look up Zardoz. You're gonna love this.
Down in
Zardoz.
front.
That gun is good.
All right, who wants to kick us off with this poem by Glenn Bowie? And photography by Glenn
How would I do that?
All right. I'm trying to move back so my head doesn't be like Zardan.
Zardoz. Come on, learn some culture.
Never one to cry. Never one to cry. If the years could kindly sit back and laugh, or tears could flow from an old photograph, it's all in the way the world remembers us. We were never one to break trust or cry. You were the one to say goodbye. It's not that I'm not over you. Days only come in one color, though, solemn blue. If I could look back in more ways than one, I would find you there or what we've become. So take this with a grain of salt. It's not that it's anybody's fault. Sometimes things don't work out like they should, or maybe they do. I just can't see it. All I see is you're gone for good. You were never one to cry. You were the one to say goodbye. The one to say goodbye. It reads like a song.
Well, that makes
Well,
sense
Glenn's
because Glenn is a
singer.
musician and songwriter.
Yeah, he's a
Well, we're
musician.
not allowed to make sense on this show.
I know,
I'm
right?
sorry.
Wow, something's going on here. The first poem was awesome. Glenn Bowie is a published poet,
Polish?
lyricist, musician, and photographer from the Boston area. He also owns and operates an elevator company that supplies custom-built elevators for clients from New England to Hollywood. The author of 2 poetry and photograph collections, Under the Weight of Whispers and Into the Thorns and Honey from Big Table Publishing. He donates all his profits from his books to various charities for the homeless and local animal
I think he
shelters.
can donate to the Oddball Foundation. We're
Yeah.
nonprofit.
You can do that. We are a nonprofit.
Elevator going up with donations.
So, Chad, what do you think of that poem?
I liked it, and I like the fact that you're like, "Oh my God, this is actually a good poem."
Well,
That's a swinging endorsement right there.
Swing.
Well, I think our poems are always. I think our poems are never not bad. I think our poems are always good. But
Swing.
this one I particularly liked a lot.
Okay.
I'll never say anything bad about Glenn Bowie. He's
That
great.
is an endorsement.
Here's my
Very
endorsement.
backpedaling
For what it's
endorsement. Next up is Anne.
worth. She Who Laughs Things I Saw in April. Chad, take it away.
Oh boy. Good Lord. Excuse me for a second. I am.
Well, we got.
I'm trying not to crack. I'm
Several
trying not
good-
to crack up.
Why?
And plus, my computer is freezing up a little bit, but I think I'm good now. I'm good
You
now.
want me to take it? I'll
All right,
take this,
Ansco's comics. I love when she does these diary entries of things that she's seen. We have 2 weeks of the worth of this for the month of April. This is the first. Several globes from 1960s and 1990s. Copper tea kettle. Person waiting for the bus in clown makeup. Wait, what?
That would creep me out.
Sheepdog, kind of messy. Pansies.
Pansy.
Pansies.
Densest goodie
Pansies.
bag. That
Left in my car.
that he left in my car. Centipede that looked like a worm. I think all centipedes look like worms.
That looks like a baggie of something.
Very tall chair. I didn't fall off, but my bag did. Mini remote control. Violets. It's truly spring.
It is spring.
Read the bio.
I like Ansco's stuff. It's great. Just
The cover.
I like her stuff a lot. Ansco lives in her hometown of Cincinnati. Her comics first appeared in the local street paper Street Vibes and Article 25. She's a frequent contributor to Funny Times and Belt magazine, both based in Northern Ohio. She considers having her comics up in your refrigerator door to be the highest form of praise. Reading them while you're on the can is an acceptable close second. All right.
Yes.
All right,
What?
let's see what we... Yes. Oh, okay. Chad, you should have took this one, but we'll do it. Essay by Stephen.
Yes, chapter
David
17.
Justin.
And this time, for the first time since he started this last year, if you go to the end of the essay, including past the bios, there is now a chapter guide bringing you to each chapter
Yes.
from all the previous chapters 1 to 16.
Yeah, this could be a book in itself.
And I think he's trying to plan for that. Now this is the first chapter where, in his mind, he truly goes after Trump. I think there were a few barbs before, but this is where he kind of unloads more. Chapter 17, just a teaser. Just as transporting. What's that?
He's got to be careful. He could just be sent out of the country, and you might be for reading it too. So I'm going to distance myself here.
Well, currently I think he's in Hawaii, so he's already kind of out.
Is Hawaii in the country?
Hawaii is a
Hawaii.
great place.
Debate.
Magical
So is
place.
Canada. So is Greenland.
We're going to separate Hawaii from us, as well as Alaska. They don't
Hawaii.
connect.
Hawaiian
We're
punch.
Gives you such an unfair
Not American.
advantage and risk
We're gonna
to attack Asia from Alaska.
We're gonna
It's totally
send gang
sad.
members to Hawaii. It'll be like Escape from New York, only with warm weather.
Oh boy.
All right,
Yes,
Chad.
I'm getting
Hit
into it. There we go. Just as transporting Kamala Harris from wherever she now happens to be on the mainland, coronating her and placing her on Queen Lulukulani's throne at
Yeah.
Talani Palace in a categorical Hawaiian secession from Trump land is never to be. So all ideals within the mind and externally in society are fanciful unless popularity, determination in the case of the individual in shaping his or her character, and some degree of plausibility become the momentum leading to their eventual actualization. But even then, the actuality of this fanciful mental construct is dubious. That which we determine as reality in this plane of existence, in which electromagnetic energy and mass convert into each other interchangeably in a state of flux, making them essentially the same, and thus all things in a state of flux, despite humans expanding energy to get a stable job, a stable home, a stable set of friends, and a stable set of ideas to thwart this process. The old Heraclitus idea that no man walks into the same river twice, all too true, as Paramedes suggests. Antithetical to solid reality, which would be non changeable, that being God himself, if there were such a creature, so far from mere mortals who are always in the formation of being one thing or another, and so never much of anything at all, and with impulses that are instinctively savage, even in sublimated dosage, which means present human beings who are rarely humane, and within 100 years as much as never having been at all. Thus, the more solid aspect of ourselves is so fluid, so insubstantial. What then, we have to ask ourselves, are our notions? Even the real ones that are actualized in popularity and momentum. And yet sometimes, often we might say, men eagerly go to war, risking life and limb for the sake of their patriotic ideas and emotional fervor, so fearful of being of no purpose whatsoever beyond the brevity of personal attachments that they've easily become juggernauts ready to plow down anything in their relentless determination to at least have real meaning for themselves, collectively, and to know something absolutely instead of plausibly. Well, that says fuck Trump if I ever heard it. For more, read the rest of the essay.
All right.
Read more in the essay and take the opportunity through this link to recap from the previous 16 chapters. I think have been going on since 2024.
Yeah.
Mr. Wright, will you do the honors of the
There we go.
bios?
The bio.
Stephen David Justin Sills is a poet, philosopher, and novelist living in Honolulu, Hawaii, with a master's degree in great books of the Western canon. Chapter 15 of his column, An Ethical Treatise, was scathing attack on religion in Hawaii. Chapter 16 was a trenchant and poignant examination of family. This particular chapter, Chapter 17, is an unflinching criticism of Donald Trump, MAGA, and American patriotism. Richard Spizak,
Spizak.
Richard Spizak
Speak
began his artistic career as a light artist in the Lumonic studio of Mel Tanner, a legendary light artist. After serving under Jack Horkheimer as a planetarium operator at the Miami Space Transit Planetarium, he left to begin traveling with Loomis Kenvin Lyman, whose show Dazzleland Studios traveled across America. Richard later worked as a laserist with Laserium and Laser Productions, served as a technical producer for the festival company Pace Concerts, and later as operations manager and senior producer at WWHP and WTCN TV in Stuart, Florida. Richard writes for theater, TV, radio, and the web. He published 2 short story collections, Two Small Windows, In a Pair of Mirror Doors, and Between the Silences, followed by his poetry collection 7370, Allen Drive, and the recent release Stone Poetry. Richard also produces Poets of the East, a televised webcast featuring poets from across the globe.
We are not worthy.
And then the chapter guide. So, all right there for you.
All chapters, all guides,
all guides, all chapters,
all chapter
babies. All right, Oddball Stories with C. Christine Fair. Tim, you want to take this one?
I maybe not the whole. I think I'll give a little taste of it.
Okay.
Uncle Mike.
Yeah, first paragraph should be fine.
Yeah,
Uncle
sounds
Mike,
pretty good.
The nudist babysitter.
Oh
God.
No crime or indiscretion was beyond the grasp of my ex-step Uncle Mike. He was a rapscallion par excellence. Christmases frequently involved going up to the Kendallville jail to bail him out of some Christmas Eve criminal chicanery. He did it all: alcohol, drugs, pot, philandering. No female was too young or too old for his lechery. Uncle Mike was addle-pated, as was evidenced by his beliefs about what comprised appropriate decorum. He loomed large in his bell-bottoms. Like his brother, my stepfather, he was indomitable at 6'4", sporting a scruffy and untamed afro. He was rangy, with his ass crack permanently affixed above the jeans that struggled to hug his slender hips. He perpetually smelled of his beloved weed. He lived life to the fullest. He was going to squeeze all from this life that he could, and for the most part, he succeeded. One more sentence. Mike, because of these virtues, was the best babysitter. A frequenter of nudist beaches, he was unable to have his film developed at local Walgreens because Walgreens didn't develop nude pictures. All right, I don't know about you, but he ain't babysitting my kids.
Yeah, nope.
No way. Unless the child was small enough to fit in his ass crack. But that's all that we're going to...
What?
He can carry around the small child in his ass crack like a papoose.
A papoose. Did you think you were going to hear the word papoose today, Chad?
Well, we have an Australian theme tonight.
Papoose. C. Christine Fair is a professor of security studies at Georgetown University. So yeah, if you want to read this this Oddball stories, check it out.
Oddballmagazine.com.
C. Christine Fair is a professor of security studies at Georgetown University. She completed her PhD in South Asian languages and civilizations at the University of Chicago. Her creative pieces have appeared in Hypertext, Lunch Ticket, Bangalore Review, Glassworks, and Exis Dare Journal of Arts, among others, in addition to her prodigious scholarly work. She causes trouble in multiple languages: Hindi, Urdu, and Punjabi. She's a student at the Writers Studio.
Oh, the Writers Studio. Okay, writers, what is a word that you love?
Papoose.
What is a word that you hate?
Papoose.
Name something you might find and to write about in Australia.
Oh, no.
Papoose.
My uncle's predatory papoose.
Predatory.
Here we go. Poem by Terry Trowbridge with photography by Bonnie Matthews Brock. Neuter him and end the cycle.
I'll get it.
All right.
One moment, please. Jesus God. What has
Papoose.
God wrong?
Bonnie Matthews Brock.
That's Bonnie Matthews Brook again.
Brock.
I love that.
great.
Like,
Brock.
Her own dog.
nice.
That's a great picture. I mean,
It is. It's kind
Neuter
of
him and end the cycle. Bukowski
end the
mixed
cycle.
with dog owning. The dog owner next door refuses to neuter the owned dog. Owned is the word for the pet, who spends all summer chained to a front yard tree, hormonal even in thunderstorms, maybe because of thunderstorms and pathetic fallacy. What human isn't ego boosted by living vicariously through four on the floor or orgiastic howls? Canine Caligula paces an ever-narrowing circle unconsciously beneath the shade of a maple, delimiting his narrowing sentience, shadowed by encroaching nature. The colonial grass worn away, popping up vestigial roots that tangle the civilized leash, tripping on need, the leash becoming its own ironic straitjacket, threads spooled around ultra-inhibited ankles. Read Oddball magazine for the rest of this very engaging poem by Terry Trowbridge.
That's
His
brilliant, yeah.
third time back in our magazine.
We have a lot of longer in
yeah.
length submissions this week, and a lot of people with like 3 names that submitted.
Terry Trowbridge has appeared in Oddball before. He's also grateful to the Ontario Arts Council for 2 writing grants during the Poly crisis. Bonnie Matthews Brock is a Florida-based photographer as well as a school psychologist. She loves hiking the urban and woodland trails of anywhere and pausing often to shoot photos with her very patient husband and often collaborator, Ted. Her images have been featured on the covers of magazines such as Ibison Street, Wild Roof Journal, Posey Magazine, Humana Obscura, and Arkansas Review, as well as on the pages of publications such as Oddball Magazine, Ember Chasm Review, Beyond Words Literary Magazine, Beaver Magazine, and Lateral. Her works are archived at institutions such as Poets House NYC, Brown University, and Harvard University.
We are gathering like the various 3 to 4 named people.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. There was a joke by Gilbert Gottfried where he went to the land of like the 3 named people. He named like all the 3 named actors, Anthony Michael Hall, and then and all these other people said, "Kill the 2 named boy," and I fled and I ran. Then I came to another village and I said, "Who are you?" "I'm Madonna." Then Vanity and Apollonia came out, and then Prince, and they said, "We will make the 2 named boy our king." Anyway, speaking of nonsensical sense sequiturs, let's go now to the jagged thought, and let's hope Jason has taken some alcohol, not alcohol, alcohol for his throat, so he can go and perform his own.
Jagged Thought 564. Poetry suitcases. My bags are packed. My eyes are heavy. I've lived too many lives already. I'm tired and need to have a calm day. Things need to go my way, my brain a runaway train. Nothing stops long enough to understand why I can't find strength but keep having strength. Enough to deal with life on life's terms. Without a bottle, without a hospital, without love, this world is hostile. I might just need to be a selfish, self-absorbed little old me writing poetry. Just putting words together in order nice and pretty. Like mice and men with a machine gun lung. Looking for something that cuts my tongue. Sparks of synapses that don't spark right. They don't make you laugh. The comedy makes you cry. Stay away from my apathy. I'd rather stretch a rug. Just go be a poet trying to be someone. Telling a joke and no laughs at all. Sing a song for you. Leave the club alone. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Telephones help. They really do. It's hard being this selfish by myself.
Nice. I'll read your bio.
Thank you.
You are the editor and founder of Oddball Magazine. Your columns appear weekly. Your third book, Train of Thought 2, Almost Home, is available now at Oddball Bookstore.
Yes, sir. That is correct. And Train of Thought 2 is available on the bookstore. Yeah. And who knows? Maybe I have a. What would it be? This would be my fourth book. I have another book in me. It's called The Pure Perspective and Other Words on Paper, but I just don't like where it's at right now. And I gave it to an editor, and I took it back from the editor saying I don't like where this is. So, still working on a book. But yeah, I've been rather introspective, and this poem was April 15th, 2025. Poetry Suitcases.
All right, what's next?
What is next?
Is it Flash Fiction by Emma Wells?
Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh, with artwork by Eric N. Peterson.
Flash Fiction by Emma Wells, artwork by Eric Peterson. Ding ding.
Eric N. Peterson.
Ben and
Yeah,
Jerry
that's
have
another three name. 3-letter. Go ahead, Chad.
Eric
You
and
want to take
Peterson.
this? You want to take this one, Tim?
I'll do it. Ben and Jerry's.
You're the Flash Fiction orator tonight.
Ben and Jerry's. I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Ben and Jerry's half-baked froyo. A half-baked froyo summons, calling me enticingly from the turning corners of my consciousness as I finish an early evening run after orbiting the East River Greenway. My aching feet discover themselves here at Ben and Jerry's. I stand deliberating, concluding that I've beat my 10K time by nearly half a minute. A sweet treat to reward my running efforts is surely deserved. Quite easily I stumble across a Ben and Jerry's store on 44th Street. As I stand in line on a crisp Sunday morning, perspiring profusely, bearing a puffy crimson face, I spot her. Her. She works here. The woman from one of my running routes, the Central Park full loop. We'd always float a little on sighting each other, tucking stray hairs into our sweatbands, adjusting lycra folds, painting an I'm not exhausted smile upon our faces, endeavoring to impress, all for a fraction of a second, perhaps a millisecond, but it's always worth it to briefly hold her golden gaze. I'll be lost in a gilded daydream for the rest of the run, and she is here, now. The mystery woman donning emerald headphones from Central Park, elegant, even mid-run, with long eyelashes, normally swiped with a purple tint. I never miss the minutiae of her.
Minutia.
Minutia. I've never actually read that word out loud. Minutia of her. Hey, it's you, the runner from Central Park, I blurted as she locked my regard, unable to regain my normal composure. It's you, the runner with bubblegum pink Apple Watch. I love the color, she coyly offers. What will it be, she questions. Oh, it's my first time, what's good? Without speaking, but holding a secret smile just for me on damson lips, you take a silver scoop in hand and dexterously craft a health-conscious dessert. Smirking without knowing why, lost in your own reverie, you add sprinkled cashews and plump cherries, with a kiss of whipped cream to crown your icy creation. Thanks so much, I offer, brushing my fingers against yours as you pass it across the counter, your touch a little chill from the frozen tub. On the house, but exchange for a run next Tuesday, she quizzes teasingly, moving the tub back and forth between you as a tennis rally. You're funny, I guffaw. Jesus, so sorry, I'm a little lightheaded from the run, I half pant. So embarrassing, I'm cringing at myself right now. Less than 24 hours later, after devouring a thirst-questioned, half-baked froyo, I head out for another run. Subconsciously, my feet take me to Central Park. Pushing myself to beat my last 10K time, I fall into myself as my Apple Watch beeps, alerting that I finished and, pleasingly, smashed my previous time. Resting my aching limbs from a crouched position, taking deep breaths, I gaze around. On a tree-shrouded bench, she sits, holding out 2 tubs of froyo. A magic is weaved within the offering. I think I'm in love, you dare to consider, stepping toward her, a beaming smile, caressing your skin. Da-da-da.
Emma Wells is a mother and English teacher. She has poetry published with various literary journals and magazines. She enjoys writing flash fiction and short stories also. Emma won Wingless Dreamers Bird Poetry Contest of 2022, and her short story entitled Virginia Creeper was selected as a winning title by Write Fluent's Singles Contest in 2021. Recently, she won Dippity Literary Magazine's 2024 Best of the Net nominations for fiction with her short story entitled The Voice of a Wilding. Her first novel is entitled Shelley's Sisterhood and was published in 2024. Eric N. Peterson is from Atlanta, Georgia. He's been drawing cartoons all his life. He leans towards the absurd, imaginative, and the surreal, because that's where all the flavor is.
Come to where the flavor
Wow, I love it. Like
Marlboro.
Chad, how did you find artwork that picked it perfectly? Did you ask him to draw this for you? I don't
see
know.
ice cream. I see chickens. Are the chickens the 2 runners?
Are those chickens? No, those are leaves, I think. But
And the
look,
potted,
it's like an
they're birds.
ice cream
And the
manger
potted
or something.
plant represents Central Park.
Perfect pairing, Chad.
Come to where the flavor is. Marlboro country.
All right. Well, here we go. This looks like an Ira Joel Haber. It is. I'll take this one.
Okay.
All right. 2 poems by Hilary Sedaris. Pax Romana.
Joel Haber.
Artwork by Ira Joel Haber. Or Haber. I don't know. I never know. It was Ira Joel. Pax Romana. The Roman gods cared less if humans believed in them as long as maintenance was paid. Our peace, too, requires no acts of faith. Per his request, I check Vincenzo's emails for mistakes, misplaced apostrophes in what he calls the Saxon genitive. In the kitchen, he spreads his civilization. I buy guanciale, pork cheek, not bacon, Italian flat leaf, never curly, parsley. Rat Academy. When we say humane, we never mean that we won't come for them. But must we be medieval, torturous? No need for them to bleed internally. We're not at war. Still, the rat czar will root them out. Odorless gas eases their voyage to Hades. Savory snacks target the ovaries, disrupt sperm streams, render rat couples sterile if not clean. Two poems, and the artwork is just wild.
Is that poem about Rat Travis?
I don't think so. Who's Rat Travis?
Brian Rat Travis is a performance poet from who currently lives in the Salem area.
That's his bio. Awesome.
Hilary Sedaris is the author of Un Amor Veloce, The Silent Bee, Animals in English, and Liberty Laundry. She grew up in Indiana and fled to Brooklyn. She's a co-founder, curriculum developer, and a teaching coach for CUNY Start, a program for underserved. CUNY Start, a program for underserved, limited income. Huh? What? CUNY Start, a program for underserved, limited income students at the City University of New York.
It's
SUNY? Is it SUNY with a C?
SUNY is State University of New York.
SUNY Start. Okay. SUNY Start, a program for underserved. What?
Jerry Cooney is a boxer.
Okay, you're killing me here. Ira Joel Haber was born and lives in Brooklyn.
You're both killing me.
I know. We're being killed here.
Small.
So it's the Brooklyn connection, Chad. Is this what's going on here? Ira Joel Haber. We should figure that out. Is it? It's Haber, right?
Haber.
Joel Haber was born and lives in Brooklyn. He's a sculptor, painter, writer, book dealer, photographer, and teacher. His work has been seen in numerous group shows, both in the USA and Europe. And he has had 9 one-man shows, including several retrospectives of his sculpture. His work is in the collections of the Whitney Museum of American Art, New York University, the Guggenheim Museum, the Hirshhorn Museum, the Albright Knox Art Gallery, and the Allen Memorial Art Museum. Since 2006, his paintings, drawings, photographs, and collages have been published in over 300 online and print magazines. He has received 3 National Endowments for the Arts Fellowship, 2 Creative Artists Public Service Grants, 2 Pollock Krasner Grants, 2 Adolph Gottlieb Foundation Grants, and in 2010, he received a grant from Artist Fellowship, Inc. In 2017 and 2018. He received the Brooklyn Arts Council Sukasa Artist in Residence Grant. One of my favorite artists who's ever been in Oddball, still to this day. Love him. Love his stuff.
And
Chad, tell me about the pairing here. Was it because they're both from Brooklyn?
It turned out to be a lovely coincidence. I was trying to get Ira Joel Haber back in the issue, and Hillary's work came up, and I just thought it was a really good pairing.
Yeah,
it's a pretty strong bio. Those are Fulbright awards and Guggenheim. Oh, big stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah, I love his artwork. Love it.
You can't say his name, but you love his artwork.
Well, I mean, it's not like it phonetically spells. I mean, no one phonetically spells their names out here. You know, we're trying not to butcher them as much as possible.
Haba boba.
I love the art by Habu.
Chad, do you want to take James?
Enough of the Haber baloo.
It's Haber. It's Haber, people.
Haber.
Oh God, we're so sorry, Ira. We're butchering your name worse than Big Bird butchers Mr. Hooper.
Mr. Hooper.
Mr. Hooper.
Am I the only one that misses the episode that saw the episode where Mr. Hooper was getting some kind of honorary good degree, and then the woman introduces him up as she gets his name wrong, and then Big Bird actually corrects it? And now we go to Mr. Hooper, and Big Bird's like, "It's Hooper!" He got so pissed.
Wow.
Am I the only one that saw this?
I think you might have dreamed that.
I dreamed that.
I don't know. So someone out there in podcast land prove me wrong, but I swear to God I saw that happen. Big Bird was just like, "It's Hooper."
It's all one thing. 584.
And then Hooper said, "Now I can die." Anyway, all right, here we go. It's all one thing. Number 1587. No, 584. Up in the air. We finally got them all in one place. The Zionists and apocalyptic theocrats, the free market fundamentalists, and their fossil-fueled flat earth fracked buds. The shadowy banksters and their dark side generals, all so fully gathered together in their ghost dance resurrection of the last counter-revolution. The White Army, ready for the final Armageddon battle with the insurgents, the Reds, the Yellow Peril, the savages, and the animals, of course. Life its very self, all set to be taken. Used, abused, sacrificed to the holy city on a hill. Actually, the old White House, still built by black people. The Republic, not a democracy, not the people. Those people so far below on the ground, swirling around, are expected to watch all them, the cravens and cabal, as if it's just another crazy conspiracy theory, another disturbing early morning nightmare up in the air, way above them all, polar vortex from thaw of North Pole that keeps breaking down and spilling icy blasts between unseasonable warming all down through the center of the continent as more and more of us, sighting to the coasts, cling to the coasts, sent there from the deep or the far middle by mass migrations of death of whole industries and bitter ends of their way of life, while perpetrators, crooks, and criminals are way above it all, looking down at all of us, the U.S., in a great grandiose dance of military fiscal madness that will never, ever in any way make America great again like it ever was. But we've got them all together again in one place.
James Van Looy has been a fixture in Boston's poetry venue since the 1970s. He's a member of Cosmic Spelunker Theater and has run poetry workshops for Boston area homeless people at Pine Street Inn and St. Francis House since 1992. Van Looy leads the Labyrinth Creative Movement Workshop, which his Labyrinth-titled poems are based on. His work appears weekly in Oddball magazine. Another great one from James here.
Let's pause 5 seconds.
For station identification.
Actually, I'm going to make a confession. I made the error, but the error I almost made is so hilarious it bears noting out. I was getting to the third line, the shadowy banksters and their dark side generals. I was a nano inch away from saying the shadowy banksters and their dark side genitals also fully gathered together.
Glad
And I'm
you
like,
got
oh
that
shit,
one right.
that actually kind of works, doesn't it?
It does. Their dark side genitals. I
I have to make a confession of my near mistake.
Of
All right,
course,
Chad.
of course, the Dukes of Hazzard now drive the Genital Lee.
Genital. All right, Janet
I
Cormier,
don't know how these
Bamboo No
Duke
More,
boys are going to be
Miracle
able to get
Making.
out of this one.
Suddenly jumped by unexplained case of some serious blues, real old school blues. Kind of blues that feels like Earth is spinning crazy and stars refuse to align. The kind of day when all the stores run out of your favorite candy bars and ice cream. The day you decide to make yourself nuts worrying about stuff that you normally dismiss. And out of nowhere, you hear some old song that inspires you to glide over crumbled cement sidewalks and greet total strangers with joy they will share with their friends and other strangers. I'll take it. Janet Cormier is a painter, writes prose and poetry, and performs comedy. Janet prefers different and original over pretty. She loves collecting stuff, but cleaning not so much. Janet also talks to strangers a lot. Her column appears weekly on Oddball magazine. That's a great poem. Great poem. Miracle making.
I like her.
She's one of my favorite
Damn it,
writers.
Jason, you have one job. Do everything. Yeah.
Chad, what do you think? What do you want to say about this one?
I enjoyed this piece. She's got another one coming this week that I think is going to be fun too.
Yeah.
She's trying to focus on the fun.
We're all about the fun.
Sounds like she's focusing on the melancholy, but trying to find the fun in the melancholy, which I can relate
There
to
you
that a
go.
lot. All right, so we're at the end of the hour. We have our poem, our the way we end every Friday with wise words with Bruce Wise, and If you've never heard Wise Words with Bruce Wise, it's really a site you got to check out. Only at Oddball Magazine.
Wait. We end every Friday with it.
Yeah.
Then we need to
God
wait.
help me, yes.
We must wait a day because today's Thursday.
Well.
Ouch.
Oh, you're so funny. Wise words with
I'm
Bruce
out.
Wise from Tim
going
Gage.
to
He's
sleep.
so funny.
Chad, do you want to take the first one? Tim, you want to pick one, and then I'll pick one, and then we'll close it out.
Do you really need me? Okay, all right. There we go. I feel like you guys are like doing your own Abbott and Costello routine right now.
Hey, Abbott!
Abbott!
I don't even know what Costello sounds like. Is it Elvis Costello?
It's when he sees the ghost.
Oh yeah, is that what Costello does?
My favorite routine is the convincing the landlord that $13 for 7 weeks of rent is $28.
Wait, is Abbott and Costello who's on first?
Yes.
Oh, I gotta
But
watch.
they also have a lesser known one about it's $13 a week to pay rents. I stayed 7 weeks. I only owe you I owe you $28. And he's able to do is through his own creative math through addition, multiplication, and division to say that it comes to $28. The guy Abbott writes 13 7 times. He's like, okay, come to it with me. 3, 6, 9, 10, no, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Then Abbott goes to the ones 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.
Now we don't normally have show notes, but we might actually. I mean, Chad, if you can send that to me, I will put that in the show notes because I think that's interesting. We never have show notes though. We say we have show notes, we never do.
Here we go. So 13 times 7. 7 times 3, 21. 7 times 1, 7. Add that in. It's 28. Oh, no. Okay.
There's it.
All right. Let's. All right. I'm bullshitting enough. Let's find. Let's do.
Wise words.
Wise Words with Bruce Wise.
Yeah.
There's some good ones here. Don't
Upon the Giant Hill by Brack Leowids. He saw his two boys. Were they returning from a baseball game? One pushed his bike, the other hiked. They crossed the arching mane. The Indian paintbrushes rose above the feathered grass. It was amazing just to watch the charming picture pass. Two souls who talked about the world as they walked along, who spoke of major military nations that were strong.
Good poem.
Somebody's turn.
All right. I just gotta give the props. We've seen some big poems from Bruce before, but the Act 1 prologue of the Ancient Mariner. This is great. I'm not gonna read it, but it's and then the postlude as well. But you gotta check that out. That's so cool. All right. Here we go. An Occurrence Near Cooper Creek by Rudy E. Wellick Abs. What he heard was a ticking of his watch. Ambrose Bierce at Owl Creek Bridge. He stood up to the plate. He was no baseball hitting ace. He was no stud known for his... You didn't read this one, no, right? He was no stud known for his RBIs. He had no grace. He simply was a player who would try to hit the ball. As hard and far as he was able to, he needed gall. He readied his position, spread his legs a good amount. He swung his bat a couple times. He was up for the count. He watched the windup of the pitcher. What would his pitch be? He only wanted to reach a strong connectivity. What would occur? He did not know. He saw the catcher's mitt. Of course, the dream was that he would get a colossal hit. But more than likely, he would strike out or go for a walk. He stood up to his fate and swung. He heard the ticking clock. Rudy E. Wellick Abs is a poet of sport. Tim, you're a baseball guy. You must like that poem.
I like it. I like baseball.
He's talking about the pitch count.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a big. So yeah, I read online. The first people to do a pitch count with their pitchers was the '69 New York Mets, but their pitch counts were like 135.
Wow.
Ryan had the most pitches.
Tim, you want to read one?
Yeah, The Missing Persons by Vic Ewell erased. Back in a century and country that no longer is, they got aboard a train to get across the border but couldn't. The train doubled again and again, could not get out. The passengers were trapped, caught in a bureaucratic tangled web. If only they were where the water lapped upon the shore, where tides would rise and ebb. Instead, they were engulfed by mountains, trees, and clustered towns, where citizens were stuck on darkened roads of narrowed certainties, in barren houses made of wood or brick. Vic Ewell, erased, is a poet of the lost.
Wow. Bruce Wise is so cool. Cool. All right, so that would end the week that was. So we read from April 14th to April 18th, but we have April 21st there still, and
which is going to be a sparse week because I was away. So write some more dick jokes for next week.
More dick jokes. Okay, more dick jokes.
We'll have a special dick joke submission.
Just dick jokes. Remember that one time? The last time that we went off on last week. Was it 2 weeks ago?
Repeat performance.
We went off the rail.
We did.
We're better now.
We are.
You know that the body of Christ, the Catholic Church is now going to accept the body of Christ as a Ritz cracker. Oh no! Everything's better on a Ritz.
Well, okay. We always say something weird before we get off the air. Usually,
because we've been so normal this whole time.
Well, can you imagine though? Like, the priest is waiting at the storage unit, and they're like, "Geez, we're running out of wafers. Hold on, we got 2 cases of the check this off. 2 cases of the blood of Christ. I mean, it's got to cross over in some weird way."
I mean, honestly, it is kind of weird that they have that stuff in bulk, but it is what it is. I mean, they do.
I mean, do they save money and buy the wafers at Costco because they can get like the 1 million wafer packaging?
It either crosses over or passes over, depending on your belief.
They give you a Vienna finger, like blood of Christ.
That was funny. Shut up.
Yeah. I mean, if they really
want to say that again. Say it again.
If they really want to attract new people to the Catholic Church, I really think they need to upgrade the hosts. I mean, I think we need hosts too. But...
All right, Tim, where are you going to be after this podcast?
I'll be ready to record the new 2 Deans and the book launch in Waltham, Massachusetts, May the 10th for Shadows of the Scene, a psychological thriller based on the gun issues, and that's available for pre-order right now. Nice,
Tim. We'll have a link for that in the bio in the
notes.
The notes. Chad, what do you got going on, buddy? What's up with Stone Soup?
I don't even know who the feature is next week, so fuck it. I have no idea. I've put so much into the vacation. I was sick for half a month. Of this wonderful April, so I'm finding my footing. Hopefully, I'll have announcements on my website, Chad Parento Poet for Hire, and the Stone Soup Facebook page, and the Stone Soup main page at stonesouppoetry.blogspot.com.
And how is your TikTok going?
It was going well until certain family members started spying on me.
Oh no.
Now, basically, they're trying to accumulate evidence to tell mom on me.
Oh no!
Dad, he's just being a poet. Dad's just being a poet.
That's just called TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah. There we go. It's TikTok.
Basically, I put out a video after the death of the Pope. I said, "News in the front. Pope dies 24 hours after seeing J.D. Vance. His final words were, 'I absolve you of your couch fucking.' Also, you."
Oh, that's great.
That's good, though. That's good.
And one of them actually said, the quote The quote.
Well, his wife actually just gave birth to some throw cushions.
So fun.
Oh. The quote from
So
relative
funny.
was the quote. I can't even. The quote. Jesus God. I can't even. The quote.
You can't do it.
Quote is, I can't even.
You only have to go to his TikTok and find out.
The quote
No,
is,
the quote from the family member was, "You are absolutely unbelievable," and I don't think that was in a good way.
unbelievable.
That's what you got to do, Chad. You got to do an unbelievable.
It's more like Vince McMahon when he commented on wrestling shows. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But
Unbelievable.
then another person said, What would your father? Really, Chad? What would your father say?" I said, "He's dead."
Your dad is.
Yeah, he wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
He'd say, "Help! Get me out of this box." But I hate when they say that. I hate when they. What would someone dead say about you? Like
He would say,
All right.
I can't believe I'm talking. I'm alive. Thanks, Chad, for that TikTok video.
Wow, that TikTok brought me right back to life. I don't know.
Oh my God, that should be my quote reply, lip syncing to "I'm Still Alive." That would work. But no, I had to make it private because after she said you are unbelievable, they added it to favorites. Like, they're not adding this to favorites; they're adding this in the evidence list. So when she has dinner with my mom, she's gonna list all these things. And another thing.
It's you're a journalist. You're comedic. It's worth it. You don't. No one puts Chad in the corner, okay, Chad? No one puts Chad in the corner.
I have to be a part. I have to have come from Massachusetts. That's the problem.
The Oddball Show will always have a space for your couch fucking jokes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, always.
Don't worry.
My latest one is Pete Hegseth.
Be damned.
Pete Hegseth replaced by the girl yelling at boy meme. Like, the secretary. Do you know the girl yelling at boy meme?
No.
Let me give me 1 second.
All right. So we are at the end of the hour. We're humoring Chad. This is gonna be a great way to end the show. But if you like what we're doing at the week that was, where we review Oddball,
and God
magazine,
knows why.
Check out. I know, right? If you're still listening, God knows why. I mean, there's so much more stuff to listen to. Oddballmagazine.com. We publish daily, Monday through Friday. We are a great magazine.
We are.
And check out the back episodes of the podcast too, where when we used to interview people. We'll get there. And if you want to come on the Oddball show, and we
in my defense, I'm just going to show you the meme. You'll see the meme and you will know the meme.
Well, you can describe the meme for the people listening at home.
All right.
The meme is a girl in a pink tank top yelling at a boy, presumably at a club. Come on,
all right.
give me the meme.
Are you sharing it? Oh,
yes.
Oh, I've seen that before. Yeah.
Yes, you have. And this is my TikTok. Girl yelling at boy meme for Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense. She was quoted as saying, "Yeah, so I'm the Secretary of Defense. I have a server where I can put you on it, but only if you're my husband, and not even that. But then it's going to have to be really secret things about Yemen." Like, it's.
Very good.
That's funny. You can catch all his stuff on Chad's TikTok.
It's better than the couch fuck. It's not as good as the couch fucking guy.
Well, I mean, you got family members that will write in to get you deported.
All right.
No,
all right, guys. This has been
they'll be cheering as I'm fired and my hospital is torn down for a casino. And then I'm selling cigarettes and money drugs.
Now it's a white trash casino.
Well, Tim, Chad, it's been a lovely week that was. It was an oddball one for sure. One that
callback.
Very
callback. Oddball. Say so long, Chad. I'll see you later. Tim, I'll see you later.
All right.
I never
And,
know what's going to crack you up, Tim, but just like Oddball, it just.
That's a good one.
I know, right?
It
This
just,
has been the week
for
that
some
was.
reason,
My name
that
is
broke
Jason
you.
Wright. God help me. This has been the week that was. Chad
This was
and
supposed to
Tim.
be an hour long. Good God.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hour
It's
5.
supposed to be less than an hour long.
All right.
We did this for an hour 40 once.
I know. Well, I know. That was a. All right. Bye, everybody.
The Oddball Show and the Oddball Foundation is dedicated to mental health advocacy through art.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oddball Show features content intended for mature audiences. If you'd like to view a content warning before listening, please check out the episode description. The views put forth by our hosts and our guest reflect the speaker's opinions and not the official stance of Oddball Foundation. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy the show.